What's up, everybody? And today I'm going to be breaking down this man, Cameron Newton, former NFL quarterback, former MVP of the league in the NFL. I'm going to be breaking down his comments on the New England Patriots and calling them fool's gold, and to see whether he's right or wrong. Okay? Cam Newton is very popular now in the media after his NFL career is pretty much over, pretty much died down. For a couple of years after he was playing with the Patriots, there were some talks about him coming back and potentially playing again. But those talks have relatively died down. He has a really successful career in media right now. So he's doing a real good job outside of media, getting his voice heard, getting clicks and everything. So he's doing really well. And he has some takes. And a lot of people online have been talking about how Cam Newton is, for lack of a better word, salty, bitter at how his career went, that some people think that he talks about QBs a little bit unfairly. So we're going to talk about that today, and we're going to react to the clip, and we're going to bring up the context of what he said. So let's get right into it. All right, so let's get into the comments that Cam Newton made that kind of started this whole thing with the Patriots. So the AI overview from Google says that Cam Newton recently commented that the New England Patriots' current success is fool's gold. Fool's gold. Haven't heard that one. Because their schedule hasn't been challenging, predicting they would be a one-and-done team in the playoffs. Ooh. You know what? Yeah. Is there legitimacy to this claim? Potentially. When we're talking about, schedules, we're going to get into the Patriots schedule later, but, some people can make that argument, and Cam Newton's going to make that argument. I think fool's gold, and, the way Cam Newton speaks about these quarterbacks could come off as a little bit, hating, in lack of a better word. So we're going to watch the video and see what Cam Newton had to say in response to Drake Maye pretty much dismissing him as any professional quarterback would do when media is talking about your team in a way that is discouraging to you. So he handled it the way he handled it, and we're going to react to Cam Newton reacting to Drake Maye. Drake Maye. There we go. All right, let's react to this video. All right, so here we go. We're listening to Cam Newton respond to Drake Maye.
Here we go to the Patriots. Drake Maye and the Patriots have taken a huge step forward so far this season. They are on a roll.
Did you see Cam Newton? Just look at him stretch
Drake
out.
Maye and the Patriots.
Look at Cam Newton stretch it out. He already knows he's in for a whirlwind right here with this take that's coming up. He already knows.
Patriots have taken a huge step forward so far this season. They are on a roll in New England. They currently are riding an 8-game win streak, and they're tied with the Broncos for the best record in the league.
The Patriots are doing real hot. They're doing real well. Tied with the best record in the league. Not just in the AFC, in the entire league. With the Broncos and I believe the Colts as well. So the Patriots are doing real hot. And the Patriots team, when you look at it, it's not the best in terms of named talent, in terms of guys that you would suspect to be on a team that's 9-2. But they're playing real well together. Mike Vrabel hasn't playing real well, so we'll see what Drake Maye had to say. Let's see.
At 9-2. Despite this, though, our very own Cam Newton has been hesitant to jump on the Patriots bandwagon. And
of course, he's hesitant. He's hating. He's hating on him. I'm not gonna say Cam's hating on him just yet. I'm not gonna say that just yet. Well, maybe I will. But Cam Newton had a run with the Patriots, didn't go that well, and a lot of people online say that when Cam Newton, he talks about other teams, he's hating. A little bit of a hating tone, so we're going to see. Cam, please.
Yesterday, Drake Maye was asked about Cam's comments, and he responded. Listen to this.
All right, we're going to listen to Drake Maye now talk about this. Let's go.
Cam Newton said the Patriots are fool's gold. That was his words, not mine.
Great job by the reporter there. Great job, man. Great job. So the reporter asks him, Drake Maye, so Cam Newton, right? one of your idols. You grew up in the Carolinas, right? You really loved Cam Newton. He said your team is pretty much is a fluke. You're not gonna do anything, and that you guys actually suck, but you guys are just playing easy people. How do you feel about that?
Do you hear those things? Do you react those things? Any comment on that?
Oh no, I don't even. I'm with you. I don't even know what show he's on. I think they get paid to make remarks and make certain comments. So just worried about what people in our organization think and worried about what we think and my teammates think. And everybody's gonna have different opinions. So we just gotta go out there on Sunday and worry about ourselves.
Professional response by Drake Maye. The fucking class act response that any QB who's hearing outside noise about his team would take. Class act. Like, how do you hate on that? There's nothing to hate on this, right? Really nothing. Drake Maye said the perfect response. Literally, he said he doesn't even know what show he's on. Athlete, tunnel vision, doesn't see anything in his periphery. He's not looking at Cam Newton right now. He's focusing on the NFL season, which is fine. That's a perfect take from Drake Maye. That's what you should say when people are talking hot about your fucking team. That's what you should take. So what did Cam Newton have to say about all this? Let's see. Cam Newton.
Floor is yours, Cam. Go ahead.
Look at this fucking shitty grid he's got on. Look at this shitty grid he's got on, man. Look at that, man. Look at that fucking grin. He's ready to cook. He's ready to hate, guys. He's ready to hate.
Hold on real quick. Let me see, I got to step.
Oh, goodness gracious, Cam. Oh, gosh. Okay. Here we go. Cam Newton, he's playing it up right now. He's playing it up.
No business right here, you know what I'm saying? Because I need him, as in Drake Maye, to understand this. Now, being in this position as a member of the media, there's a lot of things that are not always done. And it's always this. Things can be taken out of perspective.
Cam Newton, right? Maybe he meant fool's gold in a good way, right? Maybe, Drake Maye didn't hear all his comments because he doesn't watch his show, right? Maybe Drake Maye, Drake Maye, I'm calling something else fool's gold. I'm not talking about the Patriots, right? I'm not calling you fool's gold. I'm not, context, guys. We need to see what context he's taking it in, guys. Guys, relax. Don't. He's not hating. He's just trying to get context, guys, context.
Things can be taken out of context. Now, I did say the Patriots are fool's gold.
Guys. Come on, guys. Guys, you're standing on business, guys. Come on. Taking it out of context, guys. Come on. Things can be taken out of context, guys. And, a lot of people may misconstrue my words. Now, I did say that they were hot ass and that they're flukes and that they are actually really are shit and that they will get bounced out by any good team. I did say that. Where's the context we need, Cam? Where is it? You been gave it. You've already said this. You're talking about how Cam Newton's talking about how people can misconstrue words and stuff. No. You said what you said, and then now you're saying it again like we misconstrued it. You just said it again. What was that even mean? I don't get it. I don't know.
And I'm going to stand on that. I was referring to the fact that it was a question that was asked. Does the AFC now go through the Patriots?
So the question he's responding to, so there's the context, Cam. There's the context. I like this. There's the context, Cam. The question he's asking, or was asked, is does the AFC run through New England? Basically means, is the New England Patriots the face of the AFC, and are they the team to beat in the AFC? Right? Now, you can have any opinion on this, right? You could say yes, because Drake Maye's playing real well, and the coaching of the Patriots and the defense is winning these close games, and they're playing in sync right now, and they're playing on fire, right? You can say those things, right? Cam Newton must not feel that way. In terms of this controversy, he must not feel that way. Let's see.
New England. I said fool's gold. Why did I say fool's gold? Because there's not a soul in this beautiful gymnasium that will say they will take Drake Maye over a wild card winner in Patrick Mahomes.
Ooh, okay. So he's making the argument that the reason why the Patriots aren't the favorites in the AFC is because of the quarterback. I think that is not the best take you can make. I think you can make it about anything else but Drake Maye. Truly, you can make it that. I don't think Drake Maye is the reason why they would lose games, personally. But he's trying to make that take, and you know what? Cam, he's staying on business right now. Staying on business, game. Staying on business. And that guy in the crowd he's not having it. You saw that? That guy in the crowd's not fucking having it.
In Lamar Jackson. Drake.
Or Lamar Jackson. I don't know, Jim. Maybe.
Maye, respectfully, you're having a great season. But I also put Drake Maye in a position where it's like, yo, we don't really know. Similar to Indiana Jones.
So he's comparing the Patriots now because they are relatively unknown. That's what he's saying. He's saying that we don't know how good they actually are. I guess is what he's saying, and he's also saying that about the Colts as well, which is a take to have. You know, I don't personally mind the take. I in some instances I can disagree. So let's see where Cam's gonna go from here.
To the reporter that asked the question, that was a great job because columnists typically do these type of things just to poke the bear.
Great shout out to BCU right here. I don't know what. Oh, Bethune-Cookman University. Shout out to BCU.
But this is merely a warning. Don't keep poking this bear.
So they're saying. So this was the take that went online, right? And, Cam is talking about how, don't poke the bear. I don't understand what that means, really, Cam. I truly don't. Cam Newton, what are you talking about? Poke the bear? What does that even mean? Like, I don't know. Like, is he trying to say you're going to feel my wrath of words if you keep talking about my comments that I make? I don't know. But in terms of the argument that he made, let's talk about it. Let's deconstruct it, right? So he doesn't think the Patriots are actually that good. Now, one could say, okay, Patriots aren't that good. But then a lot of people are going to say, well, they're 9-2. How can they not be that good? Well, Cam Newton is talking about their schedule and how it may be a bit fluky. Right, so let's go look at the Patriots schedule right here. Here's the Patriots schedule, right? Obviously, they started up against the Raiders. The Raiders, they won that first game. Raiders win, right? 0-1. They beat the Dolphins by 6 points. 1-1. They lose to the Steelers. 1-2. Tough, close game to the Steelers. Steelers are a decent team, right? Especially early on in the season. Then they blow out the Panthers, right? They're 2-2. Then they beat the Bills. 3-2 in a shocking game. Very shocking game. And then they beat the Saints, right? Another shocking game. Well, that wasn't shocking. Excuse me. Guys, don't come at me like Cam Newton, please. And then you have the Patriots. They destroy the Titans, right? And then they destroy the Browns, right? And then they win to the Falcons by one. Patriots are an interesting, Falcons are an interesting team because they're so wishy-washy, and you don't understand how they actually won some of their games. You don't understand how they lose some of these games. So they beat the Falcons by one. Then they beat the Bucs. Then they beat the Jets. Not the greatest schedule. Not the greatest schedule in terms of toughness of opponents, right? We could talk about, the Jets aren't that good. The Browns are awful. The Titans are awful. The Saints are awful, right? And they only won by 6, right? A 4-point game. That's 4 teams that are just absolutely awful, right? Panthers right now looking like a sneaky dominant win because the Panthers are potentially going to take over the NFC South. That's pretty. And then they lost the Raiders early season. I don't think anybody's really rating that, right? It's the first game of the season, right? Sometimes you lose. So about 4 teams out of 11 that are kind of cupcake, right? Falcons aren't that cupcake, even though some teams make them look like they are. The Bucks aren't cupcake. Bills aren't cupcake, right? The Steelers aren't cupcake. Dolphins kind of cupcake. Even though they're coming back, though, Dolphins still kind of cupcake. So it's not the toughest schedule, right? And I don't think that, people are going to make it seem like, oh my God, the Patriots have the toughest schedule and they're 9-2. Look at what they're doing, boys. But calling them fool's gold, I think you could just say that you aren't really sold on their success just yet, because of the schedule that they played and because of the offensive weapons maybe, and the offense not being that great outside of Drake Maye. You could say that, and, a lot of people would say, you know what? Sure. And you could also say, it's Mike Vrabel's first year, and, he may have these guys overachieving, right? You can make that claim too. But to say it's about Drake Maye is asinine. To say that you think the Patriots are fool's gold because of Drake Maye's play and because of you wouldn't take him against Lamar Jackson or Patrick Mahomes or a top quarterback here or a top quarterback there, right? It's just asinine. It's asinine because Drake Maye is not the real issue that you want to talk about. Talk about the real issues of the Patriots, right? Maybe you could score on that defense. Who knows, right? Overachieving in the first year, right? They may come down off their high, right? Who knows? Mike Vrabel's coaching them up real well. They may be overachieving. They may not be as good as we think they are. Hold on. That's a fair thing to say. But to say it about, now you're talking about Drake Maye, it's weird. It's coming off as hating because you brought up their schedule. So keep it on their schedule, right? You could talk about them beating the Titans, them beating the Falcons only by 1 point, them beating the Dolphins only by 6 points. Early season. Right? Them beating the Saints only by 6 points, right? Them beating the Jets. They beat the Jets. They beat them by 13. Not that bad, right? You could talk about those things, but then bringing up Drake Maye and saying don't poke the bear and all this, columnist this, and Drake Maye, you're playing sensational, but, don't poke the bear and all this. Like, you coming off as hating because Drake Maye, gave the classy response, and then you're just saying, you know what? I wouldn't take you over Lamar. Right now, you might. With Lamar's track record in playoff games, you might. Over Patrick Mahomes, okay. You got a fair shot. Fair, decent opinion. Fair point right there. But to just whittle it down, the intricacies of football, to whittle that down to how a quarterback plays, I know it's a big deal, but it's pretty disingenuous in terms of where you started this conversation from. That's just my opinion. Now, is there some legitimacy to Cam's arguments? How, their schedule's been pretty cupcake. We don't know how they're going to play against really, really good competition. Well, we saw they played against good competition. We saw them play against the Bills, who some may say are pretty wishy-washy right now. This season is not their best, right? And they did beat the Bucks, who are on a little bit of a slide right now because they also are playing tough teams. So they have played good teams, and they've won. They're 9-2, right? They're really good. But to just whittle it down to Drake Maye, because I don't think Drake Maye is going to be the reason why they lose a playoff game. Personally. That's just me. But, Cam Newton's take isn't that bad. You could justify it. But the way fucking Cam Newton talks about the sport of football just comes off so fucking haterish. Like, it just does. Right? And that could be, his, him getting up, stretching the arm. Oh, my God. I just almost broke my desk. Getting up, stretching the arms, and, getting up from his chair, being like, hold on, let me fix my hat, fix my glasses. Now, I did say, right? Saying all those things and doing all the antics, if you may say. But, like, he does have some legitimacy behind that take. Saying the Patriots are fool's gold, it's not the most favorite take. I think people would disagree with that. But it's, it's something to talk about, right? But to say they're fool's gold because of Drake May is fool's gold. Cam. It's fool's gold. You don't believe that. You don't. Drake May's having a great season. Drake May is having a phenomenal year. And you even said that in the video. So to whittle it down to just them, I would whittle it down to their wide receiver talent. I would whittle it down to first-year coach. If you're going to make an argument, talk about those things. Talk about the things that are actual problems that you could justify. You're talking about Drake May. He's not the problem. He's quite the solution, right? Every team, a lot of teams, right, when Drake May was coming out, the Giants wanted Drake May because he can do it, and he's shown tools that he can do it. Even in his rookie year when they were fucking awful, he was the only shining bright spot on that team. And, Mike Vrabel built up a defense, brought in some offensive weapons, trying to rebuild that offensive line for Drake May, and look, they're succeeding right now. To say it's too early to say that it goes through them is fair, but you can't say that because it's Drake May. You can't. You can only say that because of the team and the new coach and maybe the offensive weapons. They may be overachieving, right? You could say that, but don't bring it up to Drake May. That's just weird. I don't agree with that. So thank you guys for watching. This has been the analysis of Cam Newton's take of Drake May. Thank you guys so much. And Cam Newton, stop fucking hating, yo. Stop hating. Like, just have a better attitude when you talk about the sport. Jeez. All right. Thank you guys for watching. As always, take it easy. Peace.